Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're listening to. Welcome to Boob Tube Buddies. Today we're going to be talking about episode 3 of the Get Down, Darkness is Your Candle. This is Dan Barron. You can follow me on Twitter at DanTheManAsher. And of course, always by my side, my faithful confidant, the Tonto to my
Nathan
Lone Ranger.
Graves. I'm the Tonto to your Lone Ranger. That's a very sweet thing for you to say, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, it can't be worse than Johnny Depp putting on an Indian outfit and pretending to be Tonto.
You know, normally I say, hi, my name is Nathan Graves. You can follow me at RedGrave TV. But today, I'm just going to say my name is Nathan Graves. You can follow us at Boob Tube Buddies on whatever social media network you use, because me telling you my Twitter handle just serves very little purpose.
Yep, because neither of us, as we've discussed many times, care about Twitter.
But I feel like we have to say, hi, my name is blank. My Twitter handle is blank.
Yeah, I think that's just, it's ingrained in us as internet personalities. We just feel like Twitter is the way that we connect.
Yeah. Can I share a rumor I heard that has nothing to do with anything that we talk about here on the Get Down podcast?
Yeah, I'm so ready.
Heard a rumor of our casting for our new Lando Calrissian in the Han Solo movie.
If it is the rumor that I heard, I am so in.
What'd you hear?
I heard it might be a Mr. Donald Glover.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool? Yes.
I'm absolutely in if that is the case.
It makes sense too, like from a like casting standpoint, from a like the way that Lando Calrissian looks is similar. I don't know.
And acts. He has that same like charm and charisma.
Exactly. Donald Glover could pull off the sort of charming, deceitful kind of Lando Calrissian feel.
He's got that Gambino charm.
I will say I am excited for Atlanta. Have you seen any of that stuff for Atlanta?
No, go on.
Or ATL. So Atlanta is a new series coming to FX by Donald Glover, who it's a dramedy type thing. The first spots they did for it, they did a series of like 7 or 8 like 15-second spots, and one of them was just like him and his like 2 friends like walking down the street of Atlanta looking very serious. They weren't very comedy, I'll say. And then the first trailer came out, and it looks like it'll be funny with a strong mix of drama in there. But it's about the city of Atlanta where he's lived, and also his in the plot of the show, his cousin has a record label or got a music deal in Atlanta, and he's trying to sort of ride the coattails of that. And I don't know, I love Donald Glover, so I'm excited to see how he plays that out. But I think it'll be.
Are we going to cover that show?
We could, if there's enough substance there. And if I know Donald Glover, I think there will be.
So, guys, if you want us to do that show, subscribe to us on iTunes. Give us 5 stars. Tell us you really want us to cover Atlanta. If you don't, though, subscribe to our show. Give us 5 stars and tell us you don't want us to cover Atlanta.
Yeah, let us know if we need to do that, actually. All feedback come from you guys. We'll tally up the votes, and we'll decide what we watch this fall.
And remember, if you subscribe and give us 5 stars, you'll be entered into a new contest, because last week's drawing was completed. Nobody won.
No one won the $5 iTunes gift card?
No one won the $5 gift card. But this time, I will be giving away, and I'm really excited about this. It is a first edition. Mm-hmm. First edition of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol.
God damn it. Is it on audiobook?
It is, and you can get it on audibletrial.com/boobtubebuddies, where you'll get a free trial and a free audiobook for the month. We'll be giving that away to everyone who gives us stars or goes on there and signs up.
Guys, that is one of the ways you can support our podcast. If you like what we do, if you like the shows we watch. The other way, of course, go to iTunes or wherever you get your podcast, SoundCloud, give us 5 stars. Or whatever amount of stars you feel appropriate. I feel like I'm sort of manipulating the data if I say give us 5 stars, aren't I?
Well, yeah, but I want 5 stars.
Well, but if we don't deserve it, then I won't accept it.
That's very true, guys. We are open to feedback.
Give us the appropriate amount of stars.
Give us the appropriate amount of stars. Nathan, I'm going to say right now, I think you deserve 5 stars.
Thank you, Dan. I think you deserve 5 stars. But here's what I want. If someone wants to give us 4 stars, that's fine. I would just please, absolutely, give us the 4 stars we deserve. Tell us why you didn't give us that 5th star. Yeah. I want to know the specific reason. And if it's 3, I need 2 reasons why we didn't give 5 stars.
Yeah, for every star down from 5, I expect another reason.
Yeah, 1 star and give me 4 good reasons why we do not deserve the other 4 stars. So that's fine. As long as the feedback is there and it's something we can work on, we'd be very, very excited just to have you as a patron of our Boob Tube Buddies podcast.
Absolutely. Are you ready to start talking about the Get Down?
I can't wait to keep talking about the Get Down.
Well, actually, before we begin, Nathan, last week you surprised me with a game.
Oh, okay. All right.
I have a game for you this week.
I'm excited.
This is ongoing in the series of our spoof of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Okay.
Another famous podcast, which I've never listened to.
In NPR?
I've never listened to it.
Come on. It's a radio show, not a podcast.
Okay, so
it
first
is
off, they have a podcast.
You can get it on.
And it's in the top charts on iTunes.
All right, fair enough.
And I listened to it. So.
Oh, all right, good.
Yeah, I referenced it.
Good.
I brought it up.
I know, that's a good point.
Idiot.
I love NPR.
All right, you ready for today's game?
Can't wait.
Today, you will be telling me whether or not what I read to you is a Jaden Smith tweet or an ancient Chinese proverb. Now, I know you did a lot of research last week, so I'm hoping you don't know all of these.
I will tell you right away, I don't know the ancient Chinese proverbs, but let's see. All right, I'm excited.
Are you ready?
Yes.
And I feel like credit where credit is due. This is actually a quiz off collegehumor.com.
Wait, you found this particular quiz?
I sure did, and I cannot wait to give this to you.
I'm going to say I feel proud of myself because I did create last week's game.
And had I the time this week, I would have created one for you, and I promise you next week I will create one.
All right.
For now, I'm going to copy and paste and not plagiarize.
Because you gave credit where credit is due.
Credit where credit is due, guys. Hey, College Humor, remember that website you used to check out and then it stopped kind of being funny, but you still remember it's there? collegehumor.com, unofficial sponsor.
collegehumor.com, the next E-Bombs world, but not the fun, but replaced by Funny or Die.
E-Bombs. Anyway, all right, we're going to start right now. So your first one, lovers' hearts are linked together and always beat as one.
Chinese proverb.
Chinese proverb. That is correct.
All right.
Way to go. I'm also taking the appropriate time, so those playing at home.
Fair enough. Okay, I like that.
Yeah. All right. Next. Don't follow. Listen, and then make your own path.
Chinese proverb.
All right. You're guessing Chinese proverb. Incorrect. It is Jaden Smith.
All right. Hey, he's insightful, though.
Yeah, there was some good insight. Good insight. If you want to understand, you search for truth.
Chinese proverb.
Chinese proverb is incorrect. It was Jaden Smith.
I'm just impressed with this guy.
Yeah, altogether. Yeah. You gotta.
I just like this guy.
You gotta listen, like he said before.
Fair enough.
Yeah. All right. Next. From the day you are born to the day you die, you have one responsibility, and that is to make yourself happy.
Jaden Smith.
That is correct. It is Jaden Smith.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. It kind of had a feel to it on that one.
It did.
Yeah. All right. Those without talents are poor. Those without aspirations are weak.
Ugh. This one's hard.
Yeah.
Why would a Chinese proverb talk about being talented? Jaden Smith?
You're going Jaden Smith. That is incorrect. It is a Chinese proverb. Remember,
I need to follow that Chinese proverb.
Talents don't necessarily mean like in the music industry. Talents could be any skill.
That's true.
One could be talented at many things.
All right.
All right. Next. You do not know who you are or why you are here. So when you see someone who does, the society comes together as a whole and destroys them.
That's intense. You do not know why you are here, but when you do, the society comes together as a whole and destroys them?
When you see someone who does, the society comes together as a whole and destroys them.
I'm going to say Chinese proverb because that seems like more than 140 characters.
That was a Jaden Smith.
Well, okay, so it fits nicely into a tweet. I should have. I'm sorry. I didn't count correctly.
You didn't count the characters.
Okay.
I'm going to give you just a few more.
All right. No, I'm happy with this.
Okay.
Keep going.
Cheap things are not good. Good things are not cheap.
Jaden Smith.
That is incorrect. It is a Chinese proverb.
I'm real bad at this.
Yeah, you're not doing well.
I didn't see any of these tweets when I was researching last week.
Yeah, man.
I missed the gems of Jaden Smith.
I will tell you, in my search, I found some real gems that you missed from 2015.
Okay.
My favorite of which being, in 2015, he was asked, "Where will you be in 5 years?" And his response was gone. So mark your calendars for 2020. Let's all check in on Jaden.
He'll just Be gone.
Let's just make sure he's still all right. All right. Discard everything you know and do what you feel.
Jaden Smith.
That is correct. It is Jaden Smith.
Do what you feel is bad advice.
I mean, I guess maybe what makes you happy, but yeah, do what you feel is not great advice.
Yeah, no.
That's what people say when they're about to have an affair.
Right.
All right. Commit to love, not to people. Commit to happiness, because when you commit to people, the love leaves and you are forced to stay.
Here's my fear of this. Chinese proverbs translated to English probably sound real shitty and immature. So I think that this quiz is rigged, Dan.
Yeah, is it? Or do you just not know you're Jaden Smith?
That's a Jaden Smith tweet.
That's a Jaden Smith tweet? That is correct. It was a Jaden Smith tweet.
All right.
Because it was nonsense.
Yes, correct.
That's how you know. All right, we've only got 6 more.
Great.
As we can plow right through these.
Can't wait.
People hate what they don't understand.
That's it?
That's it. That one kind of...
That's Jaden Smith.
Yeah, I have a feeling. Yeah, that one is Jaden Smith.
Okay.
That's correct. If you get up one more time, then you fall, you will make it.
Doesn't make sense, but again, I feel like it could be lost in translation. I'm going to say Chinese proverb.
That is correct. It was a Chinese proverb.
All right. Okay.
You're getting the hang of this.
I'm feeling better.
You're feeling a lot better? Good. You're looking a lot better. This one actually has a picture of Jaden as the Karate Kid, so I'm really happy to read this one.
Can't wait.
Change the world. Make it full of art, love, and light.
Art, love, and light. Jaden Smith.
That is correct. It was Jaden Smith.
Okay, I was going to say, are they trolling me with the picture and then making it a Chinese proverb?
Yeah, I mean, probably. But also,
right.
he is the Karate Kid.
We got 2 more?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, all right. I'm going to get all of these.
We're going to get through it.
I'm going to get every single, all of these 3.
Yeah, we just said 2. We just said it, and now you say 3?
I thought it was 3. I apologize.
Yeah.
All right.
Get on it. All right. We earn a living by what we do, but we make a life by what we give.
Jaden Smith.
Incorrect. That was a Chinese proverb. Yes.
I'm not going to isolate an entire culture and alienate them, but I don't know if I agree.
You don't agree?
No. But we'll just keep going. The Chinese, they're brilliant people.
All right, you ready? This is the last one, and I don't think you'll get it. It's very tough.
Okay.
I encourage you all to unfollow me so I can be left with the people who actually appreciate philosophy and poetry.
I did see this as Jaden Smith, and I saw that tweet.
Incorrect. That is a Chinese proverb.
Is it really?
Yeah.
They said unfollow me?
Unfollow me.
Shit.
Yeah, Confucius, one of my favorite Instagram accounts.
That's a fantastic game, Dan. Thank you for bringing that to my life.
I'm sorry, before we finish, it looks like there was one more.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I thought it was complete. This one's going to be really tough.
Okay.
I don't like to tweet, but the new Hunger Games is literally amazing.
Did you see his tweet that literally just says, I watch Twilight every night?
No.
He has a tweet that just says that. That's it. That's the whole piece of information that he wanted to give to the world, is that he watches Twilight every night.
That explains so much. By the way, you got a 62% on that quiz.
I feel okay with that because I got over 50%, which is all that I asked of you.
Yeah, that is a D, my friend.
Well,
You got the D.
I got the D from Jaden Smith. Hold on, one of his other tweets. We just need a podcast, The Karate Kid, reading Jaden Smith's tweets.
Go on.
No, hold on. You heard what I accidentally
Oh yeah,
said,
no,
right?
absolutely.
All right, I'm pausing this. We're gonna start over.
Don't stop recording.
I'm not stopping recording, but I'm gonna say we need a podcast, The Karate Kid, reading Jaden Smith's tweets, because I don't want to accidentally reference Jason Smith.
The most generic name in America. Yeah, everyone's gonna get it.
I guess, but still.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Regardless. All right.
Count us back in.
We're gonna keep going in 5, 4, 3,
Tres, dos,
2,
uno.
1. We just need our own podcast, which is just The Karate Kid, which is just reading Jaden Smith's tweets. But I found one that just says, I hope it doesn't take for me to die for you to see what I do for you. He also said, this is the one he referenced last week, but it is just most trees are blue. That's his whole tweet.
That's a Chinese proverb, right?
Most trees are blue. Chinese proverb.
Nailed it.
Yep. And yeah, what was the other one? Yeah, I watch Twilight every night. I will always give you the truth. I will never lie to you in my music. If you can't handle my feelings and emotions, please unfollow me.
Done.
Amazing. I'm done.
No worries, Jaden. I didn't even start following you, so.
Perfect.
No offense. You should definitely
exactly what he wanted.
join our show.
Hey, come please. Dizzy D, please join our show. So we are here this week to talk about the Get Down, episode 3.
Darkness is your candle.
Darkness is your candle. Dan, where are you at right now in this show in terms of your feeling of just the whole thing?
I will say this right now. This episode, amazing. This episode was emotionally riveting.
Why?
I mean, just so much happens. I mean, we're obviously gonna. I can hear the drinking water.
Well, that's why I was gonna try to have you keep talking.
Apologies.
So that I could, you're fine. I was like, if you talk, then I can cut out my voice.
Okay, well then count us back down again, and I'll start from. It was amazing.
Well, if he stops, hold on.
I don't remember where I left off though.
I felt bad keeping him locked up, so I took him out.
No, yeah, you're fine. I wasn't sure if you knew that it was coming to the mic.
I did, yeah. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I mean, honestly, a lot of emotional hooks. Mm-hmm. The episode in general was very well paced, but I feel like there's a lot of payoff this episode.
There is. It takes each character and takes them to where I kind of wanted them to be already, including like Zeke's aunt and uncle, right? Mm-hmm. Like their story. It takes Jackie Moreno's story a little bit further. And
you wanna also mention Francisco.
Yeah.
And I have some evidence for my theory from last week.
Yeah. As I was thinking about it and looking through it again, I'm feeling what you're saying, but I still don't think there's enough to imply what you're saying, which is that Francisco Cruz may or may not be Mylene's father.
I have a hashtag for my theory.
Please tell me.
It is hashtag Mylene's Tio is her poppy.
There's a long hashtag, but
the best ones are.
That's the theory in question, absolutely. And you know what I will say this episode does, and we'll dive into how I felt about this because I loved it. I'll just say that up front, but it takes what I said last episode, which is I want this show to incorporate more of the music, and it does it so well.
Yeah.
We're starting to feel that this is truly a musical, that the characters are inspired by what they sing or what they say in meter and in rhyme. And as a fan of theater, I love it. And it also still continues our story of the South Bronx and the way that like life was at the time for these people.
Well, especially because, I mean, the central point of this episode is the blackout. Mm-hmm. The blackout, which is, I mean, that is a historic moment in New York history.
Yeah.
The entire city losing power. I mean, picture New York City, guys. It's huge. There's so much going on. Picture that city blacking out. And it's great to see that our characters almost find themselves. They kind of find that, like, you know, to them, darkness is their candle.
God, are we starting this early?
Look, it is going to be a really hard episode to work into sentences. It is the best I got. In fact, I don't think I'll be able to find another one.
Another one? I'll be impressed when you do.
Yeah, we'll see.
So yes, let's talk about that really quick because the blackout is a major moment of this show or of this episode. I apologize. And what we get is a motif that we see a lot of throughout the entire show, which is archive footage of the Bronx from the 70s. Mm-hmm. Right? We see newsreel footage. We see actual footage of sort of rioting happening.
Yep.
We see blackout footage of Manhattan. And through that, we see that, one, there are a lot of people down on their luck, down, in poverty, looting convenience stores, looting electronic stores, pulling anything they can of value.
Yeah.
But our Fantastic Four plus one aren't doing that. Their mind isn't on money. Their mind isn't on the fact that they are poor per se. Their mind is on the fact that they have been trying to pursue a passion.
Absolutely.
And their passion has been inhibited by a lack of money. I'm not saying by any means that they are not struggling financially, But the first thing they think of is, let's go get the tools we need to pursue our dream. That's it.
That's it.
And that's amazing to me that these kids have that thought in mind, and I believe it too. Like I believe that the pursuit of music and of hip hop and of a new art form inspired such passion that when the world was open to them and they said, I can go get anything I want, what they chose to go try to get was 2 turntables.
2 turntables and a microphone.
And a disco ball and a microphone. It's amazing to me.
It's where it's at.
And that makes those characters of the Fantastic 4+1 even more likable to me.
Yeah. I mean, still criminals.
Well, as were a lot of people in that moment.
Sure.
In that time.
Actually, fun thing. I was talking to my father today in general, and I was mentioning the show, and I mentioned the New York blackout. And my father is very quirky. I love the man, but he's a very quirky man. And his exact words immediately were, "Oh, there was a lot more pregnancies right after that blackout." To which I was like, "Well, yeah. I mean, I guess what else were you gonna do?"
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It was either riot.
That was 100% a true Aaron Barron story, by the way.
Aaron Barron is your father's name?
His name is Aaron Barron.
He's got the luckiest name in the world.
You sure?
Why did he name you Dan?
Probably to spare me the horrors he lived through as Aaron Barron.
Fair
Though
enough,
I will tell you, my plan has always been, whether girl or boy, because it can work both ways, my child will be Aaron Bo Barron.
No way.
I want it.
Are you? Has your fiance agreed to that?
She doesn't have to know.
Fair enough.
I'll just put it on the paperwork.
Well, let's talk about some of our characters, and let's talk about what is quickly becoming one of my favorite characters, especially after watching this episode.
DJ Malibu.
Marino.
Oh,
no, not.
Sorry. That's my mistake.
In the last episode of this podcast, you're still going to say DJ Malibu is your favorite character.
I love DJ Malibu so much. I love him. I miss him.
My thing about DJ Malibu is he was so into the drugs and so reluctant to actually play the one record that Zeke wanted to play in episode 1.
Well, yeah, he was really into drugs.
Yeah, but
hey, it's his art, man. Don't fucking question his art. That's
fair
DJ
enough,
Malibu, gone but not forgotten.
Jackie Moreno here has become very quickly one of my favorite characters. I think just because he's he is the anti-hero of the show. He has such flaws.
Oh yeah.
And yet he's proven himself in this episode to be really conniving.
Very well. He proves himself to be a music player.
Yes.
Now, granted, down on his luck. Granted, not as good as he once was, but
right.
He proves that he knows how this game is played.
Yeah. And by the way, Kevin Corrigan, who plays Jackie Moreno, he's just this character actor that I've seen in various things. But I wish I could pinpoint a key role for him. I can't think of one, but he's so good in this. He was in the TV show Fringe, if you ever saw that. He was in this shitty comedy called Grounded for Life. I remember watching.
Oh, what is that? You know what?
It's a shitty multicam sitcom. Imagine the worst of the worst. We're gonna try to make a multicam sitcom like a Full House, but make it slightly raunchy, and then it just doesn't work. He was in that.
Well, now he's found his way into the Get Down.
I guess I doubt this will be his breakout role, but yes, it is very, very good.
But do you know that?
No, I don't know that. I can't say that for certain.
Mm-hmm.
But his character's so good. So he is played out to be this guy who can manipulate things to get whatever he wants because he's a music producer who, for whatever reason, people still look at as a successful music producer, but who very clearly is just shit. He's completely hungover, hopped up on drugs, can't actually get the things done that he claims to get done. He owes a lot of money, as was revealed last episode. He owes money to Francisco Cruz. Who's to say who else he owes money to?
Yeah, I mean, well,
Fat Annie, right?
Yeah, I believe so. He talks about a few Shylocks he owes money to.
Right, and so he's that character, and yet he proves himself to be the guy who can manipulate you into believing what he says. So originally he tries to go to his music label guy, Roy. Marrakesh Records. And at first you think, oh, he's kind of going to get what he wants. And then he gets completely shut down because Jackie has obviously screwed over these people in the past.
Probably taken the money, squandered it on drugs, squandered it on gambling.
Right.
And then probably failed to deliver on promises.
But then he goes to Francisco and convinces Francisco, no, man, a music label, a record label, that's not what you want. They own all your stuff. Like, trust me, you want to own what you produce. I just need the money to make it myself. He didn't even say that.
No. Yeah, he got Francisco to think it.
He inceptioned it. Yeah, he inceptioned that into Francisco's mind.
Because he never said we need to produce it ourselves. He was just talking about how record labels are corrupt, but that's the business, and this is just how it works. Yep. And you knew because we just saw him get rejected. We just saw him get told to go fuck himself.
Yeah.
And get a nickel thrown at him. And
Francisco says, well, what if we do it ourselves? And he goes, that takes a lot of money.
Yep.
Doesn't matter. Francisco's willing to put it up, and Jackie
that's his
knows
daughter.
it. God damn it.
Or niece.
Are you...
You didn't let me finish my sentence.
No, keep going.
I said daughter.
No, I heard it.
Or niece.
Right. I heard that.
I just took a pause because I was breathing.
We have to find this out. We're not going to find out until next year, but I don't. All right. We'll see.
I stand by it.
There is some evidence in this episode, so we'll talk about that. But Jackie gets 40 grand from Francisco.
After only asking for $5,000 from his buddy Roy.
Which, yes, is a clue to like what is he going to use the other 35 for? Paying people off and drugs. So that makes you wonder, like, what's he going to use the other 35 for? I'm sure it's drugs, or drugs, one,
obvious.
And then paying other people off that I'm sure he owes, such as Fat Annie.
Yeah, and probably wants a little bit more to gamble with.
That's just the rut that people put themselves in when they get addicted to that kind of thing.
Wow, man, you're supposed to be a little bit more supportive.
Of Jackie Moreno?
No, of people with gambling addictions.
Do you have a gambling addiction?
I don't, but I've always loved that the line you call if you have a gambling addiction is 1-800-ADMIT-IT. Like, it's so accusatory. Those are all over Vegas.
That is the first step, right? That's the first step to resolving your problem is admitting you have one.
Yeah,
right?
but you don't say it like, admit it. You say it as, admit it. Admit it. Anyway.
So Jackie Moreno gets the 40 grand from Francisco, right? And then he uses that to put on his own production that he's going to have Mylene record a song that he gets. Essentially, he gets it from Cadillac.
Oh, man, and what a song it is. Cadillac wrote it himself. Cadillac, the future disco star himself.
What's the name of the damn song?
That song is Boogie Woogie Disco Biscuit.
Later, Jackie defines what a disco biscuit is. Is it just X? What is it?
It was some drug. Look,
it's a drug.
Who even cares? Boogie Woogie Disco Biscuit is the stupidest shit I have ever heard, and I know it was meant to be stupid.
So Boogie Woogie Disco Biscuit, gonna be the next hot hit. It's what the record labels are eating up, says Jackie to Mylene, essentially. But I don't want to get into the scene where they try to record that yet, because the musical sequence at the end of this episode is one of my favorite parts of the episode. So let's dive into some of the other characters before we get there.
All right, well, here, I'm going to jump us off with something. Let's start by getting the cringe out of the way.
Okay.
Shaolin Fantastic and Fat Annie.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, he went back to get the other half of that money, the bill she ripped in half.
Yeah.
He went back, and the first scene we see him, he has clearly just fucked Fat Annie.
Ugh. Why?
Money. He wants money.
I guess. You get involved in a group like that, that's all you're looking for, and then that's the extent you're willing to go to.
I'm not saying it's pretty.
My point is being solidified that he is completely setting in stone his relationship with this family, and it's gonna hurt him later on. That he can't leave to go to what he wants to do. He can't. He's gonna get stuck in this gang life and not be able to go produce his music. I'm sure of it.
And It's all starting to feel that way.
Yeah.
Because she
Absolutely.
asked him to join the family,
Yeah.
which I have watched enough mafia movies and television shows to know that when you join the family, congratulations, that's your permanent career choice.
God.
You don't get another career choice.
So Shao finds, as we referenced last episode, like the boys are going to go try to do their thing to get the money they need to continue their career. And Shao does his thing, which is that he sleeps with Fat Annie and does what she wants to do. And once he's found his place in Fat Annie's family, he now has the money that he thinks, or rather the resources he needs to continue to pursue his DJ career. So he's like psyched from that.
Yeah. He's definitely in a much more positive place. Right. He's feeling good. But before we talk about where he goes, we should talk about what Zeke does to get money.
Mm-hmm. We keep going back and back and back because all of these stories intertwine in a really neat way this episode.
And so that's actually the difficulty of doing a podcast like this in general, especially because this show, it's not a straightforward show. It all weaves together. Like last episode, I regret having listened to what we did. You know, I regret that, you know, we told the story of of Cadillac shooting the kid, and then separately we told the story of Shaolin figuring out how to master the crossfade, when in reality those two scenes are intercut beautifully, where you're watching the boys get excited and everything get positive, and then it's all ended with a bang, which, you know.
Yep.
So I regret in these podcasts, it is tough to kind of capture that without going scene by scene by scene, which I'm trying to avoid.
Yeah.
So instead, we're just going to do some time travel.
Some jumping around. So the boys have decided they're going to get their money. Well, they tried to earn some money, and they tried to spend it on turntables. They were told no for a credit line.
Yeah, they were told no for the credit line. Zeke had tried to work with his uncle, and man, the job they got.
Well, let's talk about that, because not only... So they had to clean up the destruction that happened at Les Inferno in episode 1, right? So the shooting had happened, blood, grime, dirt, destruction of the tile, of the flooring, bullet holes. Their job, or his uncle's job as a handyman, was to clean that up. Zeke's looking for a summer job, and so he goes with his uncle. Now at home, his uncle has appeared to be a very in-control, powerful man. He is the man of the home, of the household. He tells Zeke what to do. He is in control. And then you see him on the job, and you get this perspective of a shift of class and of sort of position in their culture. And all of a sudden, his uncle is being told what to do, and he is completely at the whim of whatever boss is handling whatever job he's hired to do as a handyman. And he's sort of smacked around a little bit by Cadillac here.
Yeah. No, not a little bit. Like, he's shoved to the ground.
Yeah. And Zeke sees this happen. And I think that's demasculating for his uncle. And sort of, it's another thing that gives Zeke perspective on his life and of the way that the environment around him treats him and his family and people of his wealth status.
Yeah.
But they're cleaning up Les Inferno, which is it's hilarious to see Zeke back in that environment.
So uncomfortable.
It is.
He is so uncomfortable. He's trying to hide his face. Cadillac does eventually see him.
He does.
Comes up asking for Mylene's number. She don't have a phone.
So from the money from that, though, they do wind up getting out of that area. They get fired from the job, but once they have the money, they're going to attempt to spend it on some turntables. They don't have even close to the money. What do they have, like $60 when they need like $600?
I don't think they even had 60.
Yeah, it's something real slim.
It's
and
low.
And they need $600. And the record store owner tells them no for a line of credit.
Because a lot of people are coming in these days, weirdly enough, asking for 2 turntables and a mixer. Why is anybody even looking for that?
It's a clever reference. It is sort of solidifying this culture. Like, wow, the birth of DJing and the birth of hip hop happened all at once to a bunch of people. It was just a craze at the time. And so, but what did someone give him? They say, well, we can pay for this, but a bootleg copy of a tape.
Yeah, it is a Grandmaster Flash live concert tape.
And the kids look at this and they go, "Oh my god!" Like immediately, like that's worth a lot. And they offer him what, $10?
$10.
Where he said he was told he could get 100 for it.
Yeah, and he took that 10 though.
Well, whatever. It didn't mean anything to him.
Yeah, I don't think he believed the 100 because it was all just that scratchy noise, and it was garbage.
I'm actually surprised at what they did with the tape because they wind up taking it and pretending to they play the tape, but they pretend to actually be the ones making the sounds at a party that they throw. Yeah,
and so that's actually disappointing for their characters. So they throw a party, they're charging admission. Was it? It's Boo, right? Boo was up behind it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boo is pretending to be DJing while just playing a bootleg, and people are showing up. People are having a great time. But every time that it would just go like DJ or what was it?
I don't remember.
But it would like go DJ Grandmaster, and then he would just like mute it and go Boo.
Which I thought was hilarious because Boo is the youngest.
Yeah.
So to see him as the one who supposedly, yeah, he's got it. He knows what he's doing. He's a great DJ behind the turntables. That's a crazy decision to me to put him behind those.
Yeah,
but he's also kind of the most eccentric.
Yeah, but then you've got Zeke pretending to be his record boy, handing him records as they're clearly faking this performance.
Yeah.
But, ultimately, the party gets broken up by a new group that we have not met yet, the Caesars.
Well, yeah. The Caesars, who, okay, so clear this up for me. I know the Caesars are defending Grandmaster Flash and his honor, right?
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, I think more his money, making sure that he's not getting ripped off.
True. So, but is that all they are? Is they're his defense?
I think those are his that's his crew. These are people that I'm assuming people that he pays to make sure that nobody is stealing from Grandmaster Flash.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, they seem to be and that they're his crew, but they tear up the place.
Oh yeah, tear up. They punch Zeke. I mean they destroy this shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which sort of puts them in a weird position. I'm surprised that they did this. I'm surprised they took this bootleg and this was their way of getting money. That when they saw this tape, they thought, oh, right, yeah, like that. That's how we can earn the money necessary.
Yeah, it didn't really make sense given their like development as characters because like I kind of felt like they understood the importance. But then again, you know what? It takes us right back to last episode when the purple crayon's going on, Boo Boo, Ra, and well, Dizzy kind of understood the importance, but like they don't see it the same way that like Shaolin does as like this kung fu quest. They don't see it like Zeke as an escape from like this emotional torrent that they're living in.
Right.
Instead, I think what we're seeing more from them is, they're kids. They're kids being kids. And to them, this is an idea of, boom, we can make some quick cash. We can make some quick cash, and this is going to be great.
Yeah. Yeah, and they do make the cash, and then it gets stolen from them by the Caesars, which is when the two stories sort of collide. And Shao shows up in a car, which is it Cadillac's car?
No, that is DJ Malibu's car.
No way, really?
That was DJ Malibu's car. They were ditching DJ Malibu's car.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah,
because
that was DJ Malibu's tricked out convertible.
Shao takes him out, basically. So this is a point. This is a point where Zeke refuses to go with Mylene because Mylene shows up, right? Mm-hmm. At this point, and is asking Zeke to come with her to her recording session.
Yeah, which is a fair request given their star-crossed lover story.
I agree and I don't, because this is another instance for me of Mylene being self-serving.
Oh, no. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Of course she's being self-serving.
Okay.
But she's nervous. And I feel like Zeke is her safety blanket, which is not what he wants to be.
No, it's not. But she told him that they can't be together, and then she continues to try. I don't know. Maybe this is the boy in me speaking. Maybe this is the guy, We
need a female perspective.
All I see is Mylene saying, hey, I won't do what you want from me, but will you continue to do what I want from you? and Zeke essentially refusing and choosing to go with Xiao, which I think is he's beginning a pattern here where Mylene asks him to do something and he chooses to do something for himself instead.
Which is good. He needs that. It's healthy.
Yeah, I think so too. So they go with Xiao. They go out to the docks to do what Xiao was actually told to do, which is get rid of this car.
Well, yeah, but then that whole trip, the kids are real conflicted on, do we tell them? Do we tell them that? Because as the Caesars left, sorry, this was very important, that the Fantastic 4+1 are dead to the Grandmaster.
Yes, which is going to hit Xiao hard because this means that his DJ career is basically done because of what they did.
Yeah. But that's because, you know what? In a way, it is on Xiao. It's on Xiao because how many times did Grandmaster say these are your wings? Yeah, these are your wings. You got to trust them. And he went off on his own. He left them.
So they go out. They're attempting to get rid of this car, and as they do, well, during this moment, Mylene has been abandoned by Zeke, and she's going out to record "Boogie Woogie Disco Biscuit."
So good.
Which we get to hear the song.
Yeah, it's not good.
No, it's not. It's really bad.
It's very generic. You guys should definitely look up Boogie Woogie Disco Biscuit when you get a chance. You'll love it.
It might be what the record labels are looking for, though.
I don't think so.
No?
No, even listening to it, I was like, oh, no, that would go nowhere.
But she sees a real glimpse of Jackie in this moment.
Mm-hmm. He breaks. He shows how human he is and how far he's fallen. Yeah. Which is a great element to a character like his, Mr. Showbiz. There's nothing you love more than seeing, and we, the audience, knew he was broken. But there's nothing more that you like seeing than when another character sees how broken they are too.
Right. Yeah.
That's important.
He tears apart the recording booth as Mylene is trying to record this song. But then we come to this moment of convergence, which I love. So first of all, the boys are trying to push this car into the lake. They do successfully because they find out that there's the body of one of the dead Savage Warlords in it, one of the boys.
The boy that Cadillac shot in the club.
Yep. He's in the trunk. They discover this and they decide to say nothing, so they push the car into the water.
And they decide they're all in this together.
As they do that, as Mylene is recording Boogie Woogie Disco Biscuit, as many, many characters are in many different places, what happens across the board is this blackout that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
For everybody, everything blacks out, meaning they're left with nothing but their sort of acoustical quality. And so what you get are riots across the city, the boys stealing what they need from Les Inferno, and then this moment of convergence where Jackie Moreno tries to play a song on piano that Mylene recognizes. She doesn't like Boogie Woogie Disco Biscuit. It's just not working. So Jackie's sitting down sort of distraught and distressed, and he plays this song. She starts to sing along. And then as she sings, you get this real representation of who she is as a singer, which is something she hasn't been able to show Jackie yet other than the one time in the church.
Yep.
And then also during that scene, Zeke at home, stressed from the day, they pushed a car with a dead kid in it into the river.
It's a hell of a thing to see.
They stole turntables and records and microphones and disco balls from a club, right? It's a stressful day for him. He's writing a poem. And then it's the thing that I have longed for from this show for a long time. Mylene singing to a song on piano and Zeke rapping along with it.
Yep.
You get this real sense of this poetry that he's writing to a beat, to a get down. And it's this beautiful track that is on the soundtrack if you want to hear it. It's amazing. It's which song is it? It's Up the Ladder. Track 23 has Harrison Guardiola, who is Mylene, singing, and Justice Smith, who's Zeke, rapping over a portion of it. And it's just fantastic.
Oh, it was honestly, it's a beautiful scene. Like it really is, and like you, I agree. I feel like it's what we were waiting for as an audience. Like these two different styles have been growing over these episodes.
Yep.
You've been kind of waiting for them to combine.
Yeah, I certainly have. And so you get the two together, you get the mashup together, And for me, as a musical show, this is what I long for, is the thing that I can go search for on the soundtrack and listen to over and over again. And that's just the perspective of an audience member as a listener of the content the show provides. But from a plot standpoint, like, this is a very important moment where you see that these two people, though so different, can coexist.
Yeah.
Mylene and Zeke, very different goals in life, and they can coexist very, very well.
What's that favorite line from Zeke's poem? What was that one you liked?
There's two lines from this episode.
Yeah.
He sings like something like, "I'm not Lancelot, I can never be knighted." And he sings, "This wrong can never be righted." Which line are you referring to?
I thought that was the one.
Yeah, it is. I mean, yes, exactly. That's the one that sticks out in my head as he's singing it, because he's rapping sort of a rhyme structure that's back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and then he finishes the latter half of the rap with "This wrong can never be righted, not Lancelot, I can never be knighted." I wish I had the lyrics up in front of me. I would certainly, read them, because they're poetic.
I was just glad that Lancelot got a call out. That is best knight of the round table. Number one.
Yeah? You have a preference there?
Who doesn't have a preference? Did you see the movie First Knight?
No.
Oh, man, you're missing out. That's Richard Gere as Lancelot, Sean Connery as King Arthur.
Oh, you know what? I may or may not have seen this a long time ago.
You should probably go watch it again.
Okay.
It kind of sets the bar for what Arthurian legend movies should look like. In my opinion.
Good.
You can also hear more of my opinions every weekend on my podcast, Endless First Nights. And that's Nights with a K.
Endless First Nights.
Yeah. Yep.
I've had a severe lack of weekend podcasts recently.
Well, I thought you were, just kind of boycotting podcasts in general because you've been, some political reason. You've been Jaden Smithing.
I've been too caught up on Down Under.
Oh, yeah. How's Down Under going?
Not well, Dan. Our viewership listenership is down.
Oh, man.
I don't know that word. That's a word I first used tonight.
Yeah, well, we'll just go ahead and call Merriam-Webster. She needs to hear it.
Yeah.
With that, guys, real quick, we're going to take a quick break and just throw it over to our sponsor because, let's be honest, they got to pay us. So we'll be right back.
Hey, buddies, this episode of Boob Tube Buddies is brought to you by Audible.com, the only website where erotica can be considered performance art. Buddies, today I wanted to tell you a story. Once upon a time, there were three little pigs. Come on, say it with me. You know the story. Once upon a time, there were three little pigs allegorically representing intellectual revolutionaries during the Russian Revolution and the Soviet Union. That's right, the book is Animal Farm, the dystopian novel by George Orwell, one of the most studied books in the American school system, and if listening is your pleasure, Audible's got you covered. Audible has not one, not two, but 11 copies of Animal Farm for you to listen to. Ever wanted to know what it would sound like for Jewish actors to dramatize Animal Farm in Hebrew? No one has. But that didn't stop Nathan Datner from catering to that microscopically niche audience. Go to audibletrial.com/boobtubebuddies, sign up for a free 30-day trial of Audible, and listen to a tale about the death of capitalism while supporting it wildly.
All right, welcome back. Hopefully you guys already signed up for Audible. I know I did.
Did you, Dan? Have you signed up for your Audible trial?
On that commercial break, yeah.
That's good. That's good. I genuinely have signed up for my Audible trial.
Yeah, no, I genuinely have too. I just haven't chosen my book yet.
Oh, okay, all right. I'm interested to hear what book you choose. Maybe we'll hear about that next week.
Yeah, I'm torn.
Yeah.
I got a few options, but you know what? That's neither here nor there, guys. We're talking about the Get Down.
We are. So now in the end of this episode, we've got Zeke, and Zeke is sort of stressed. He and Mylene, as Mylene comes home to comfort him, Mylene and he do have sexual relations. Get it?
Oh man, I'm so proud of Zeke because you know what?
Are you?
Yeah, I'm going to say it right now. He inadvertently did that thing that Did you ever watch that show, The Pickup Artist?
No.
Terrible show. Don't watch it.
Okay.
It's really bad. Apparently, in order to pick up girls at a bar, you need fedoras. But he did that thing that they always say, like, you have to do, which is like avoid her, ignore her, make her feel not important, and then she'll flock to you.
God.
It worked for Zeke. Or rather, it worked for the writers of this show because they really thought it was correct.
They made it work.
Either way, sex on a sofa, on a rooftop in the Bronx during a blackout where there's fires everywhere. I have to say, that's how I lost my virginity.
Oh, good job, Dan. Thanks. You're divulging a lot of personal information on this show.
Hey, man, the 90s were crazy. I'm just going to say that. Even though by the end of the 90s, I would have been 15. Like, that's...
So here's what we've got. We've got the Fantastic Four plus one. They've got their turntables and their microphone. We've got Mylene.
2 turntables and a microphone.
2 turntables.
That's where it's at.
We've got Mylene. She's proven to her producer that she's got what it takes, right? Mm-hmm. So we've got that. How do you feel here at the end of this episode about the show and its direction?
I like where it's going, and I believe I said it last week. This was the episode to me that truly, on a almost visceral level, hooked me.
Yeah.
I needed to know what happened next after this episode.
Yeah, I agree. This is that one where, again, last episode, I felt like, okay, God, they erased everything I cared about. Why do I want to keep going? And this episode makes me go, oh, shit. Like, one, it truly is a musical. Like, we've got the emotion coming through that people are singing and showing on their sleeve. We've got Zeke, he's rapping, he's writing poetry. That made me go, what's going to happen in this next episode? Mylene has proven that she can be a star, and I'm still waiting for that breakout hit of the show. So, like, what is that song that she's going to sing that's going to make her huge?
Or fail.
Or fail, absolutely. So I'm with you. Like, this episode, from a plot standpoint alone, just really, really grabbed me, and it put Zeke and it put Shaolin in a interesting conflictual state where they have yet to tell him about the bootleg tape. And
the bootleg tape is going to be a breaking point for that group, I fear. Like,
it is.
It's not going to be it's not going to blow over easily.
No.
And they're kind of. So it's interesting because they're keeping Shaolin in the dark. Like they're keeping him out of this one.
Very much.
But in a lot of ways, and this is, I mean, maybe it's just the way that they play with the style, they play with, the story. Like, it's so malleable. It feels predictable, but in a lot of ways, they're keeping him in the dark. But that darkness is their candle.
God damn it. How did you find that?
I mean, that was weak, man. I had to stretch for it.
I know, but I didn't see it coming, so you found it. So Dan.
Yeah.
In the end of this episode, lots of things happen, lots of music.
Yeah, a lot of music. Oh, man, they played one of my favorite songs, by the way, in this episode.
What?
Papa Was a Rolling Stone.
Yep, I remember that.
That is one of my favorites, and that has to be an expensive track.
All right, I was going to say, because $9 million expensive?
I mean, not that one song isn't. No, I hope not, because I was going to play that at my wedding. But
well, true. I hope you don't have to spend that amount of money on it.
Yeah, because I am charging for people to get into my wedding, so I then have to pay rights for every song I play. And,
I think we're seeing the production value though in this episode, and I think we're seeing the amount of people who are actually behind the camera, because that's another element of this cost, right? Is that not only are we seeing what's beautiful on the camera, we're seeing the people behind it a little bit more. We're seeing the shots that they're choosing to produce. We're seeing the time it must have taken to get some of these shots, such as like Shaolin and the car that he drives up in. These are very stylized.
Oh man, I bet that car was expensive on its own. That car was.
Well, that's a good point.
I mean, that's the thing is, and then to your point, I'm seeing a style emerge that could never be cheap to obtain.
No, absolutely, I agree. Even though it looks like one of our scenes is lit by candle. By the way, the last scene of this show, or this episode, Zeke's sitting there, and he is writing poetry by candlelight.
Well, it was a lot of darkness, and if you didn't know, you need candles when it's dark.
I fed that to you. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm beginning to see the $9 million per episode. So I could understand this episode particularly contributing to the $9 million cost.
I can see a bit of it.
Yeah.
I'm closer to this one. Episode 1, I saw it. Episode 1, I saw 9 million. 9 million was obvious because I feel like Boz's paycheck was about 7 million on its own.
Well, of course. Well, I think, hold on really quick. Did he wind up being, this is not one of the ones that he directed.
No, I think this was an Ed Bianchi.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe it is episode 5 and episode 1 that he directed.
But he's still writing quite a bit of it. You still got a lot of powerful people involved, and you still got, again, with this production moved from LA to New York. This has gone through a lot of struggle and strife, and so I think a lot of that cost is behind the scenes that we'll just never get to see, which is a shame for Netflix.
No, yeah, absolutely. Well, there's also there's an accidental death on set.
What?
I made that up, but you could believe it because of how much woes they had.
I guess. That's terrifying.
Well, I mean, it can happen. Guys, this is why it's very important that you listen to my podcast on the weekend about set safety.
The Crow, accidental death.
Don't be the Crow. Oh, sorry, Brandon Lee. We just praised your father last episode, and now...
Oh, no, I know.
We made a joke about... Man, did you ever see the documentary about that one bullet?
I didn't.
Oh, there's a documentary that literally breaks down the path of that one bullet that found its way to Brandon Lee and the series of coincidental accidents that made it happen.
No.
Oh, it is so interesting because it was a 1 in a million shot.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No. Well, we'll talk about that more on our weekend podcast.
Which one?
The Crow.
Go ahead.
The Crow 2.
I think they already made The Crow 2, though.
No, they did make The Crow 2. Actually, my editing teacher edited that film.
Is that a pride thing? Is he proud of that?
No, because she doesn't talk about it.
Oh, sorry, she. Here I was assuming it was a male in the industry.
Sorry, no.
And you know what the worst part is? I probably know that teacher because they were probably mine as well.
I know. We had the same freaking classes. Well, Dan, this episode has brought us somewhere, and it is the one that took me to, this is where I didn't stop. This is that point where I went, all right, I'm in,
yep.
And I watched 3 hours of this show after this just in a row, just because I'm like, I can't stop going.
This is where like Jackie Moreno, I went all in.
So I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Get Down. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Boob Tube Buddies. Hope we brought some perspective to this for you. If you have any other thoughts that we didn't touch on, please comment on those on iTunes. Let us know what you think of not just the show, Boob Tube Buddies, but of The Get Down, because we'd like to know what you guys are into. We want to know what we need to keep talking about, and we can discuss next week as well.
Yeah, and again, you can follow us, Boob Tube Buddies on Twitter. You can follow us on Reddit. You can follow us on iTunes. Please follow us on iTunes. I keep trying to convince Mathis and Adam that we really need a Tumblr.
Definitely. We need to post more GIFs.
It's GIF.
All right. We could talk about that forever. We're going to...
But
follow us on our weekend podcast web formats.
But no, seriously, follow us. Let us know what you're thinking of the shows that we're talking about. Let us know about the what you think about the shows we're putting forward to you guys, whether you think we're full of shit, whether you think we're on to something.
We might be. I think we are.
We most likely are, except for the fact that Francisco is absolutely Mylene's father.
All right.
I'm so right about this, guys.
We'll see in a long time.
Yeah, but I will also put out there, guys, there's also amazing content that you can listen to. Nathan and I also host a podcast about BoJack Horseman.
Absolutely.
Which has been a little bit quiet recently because the Get Down is pretty demanding of time.
It's huge. But we're going to be doing episode 4 here of BoJack Horseman very, very soon. We're actually going to be pushing out quite a few BoJack Horseman episodes soon so that you guys can finish up season 3 of BoJack Horseman and hear what we have to say about it.
And also, we have something very exciting planned, but for now, I'm going to keep the curtain around that one because I don't want to tip the cards yet.
There's some mystery there. I like that. I like a good mystery.
We have something planned for you guys that you won't expect, but I think you'll enjoy.
And you'll have fun with.
I know we will.
We certainly will. All right, guys. Well, that does it for our episode, our review of Season 1, Episode 3 of the Netflix original, The Get Down. Follow us. Follow everything that we produce, and we hope that you had a good time here tonight with the Boob Tube Buddies.
Yep, and remember, please sign up for your Audible trial, audibletrial.com/Boob Tube Buddies.
Otherwise, buddies, we'll see you next time. Have a good night.
Have a good morning, night, or afternoon.
That too.
Bye, buddies.
Bye, buddies.